journey is rough, and the seas assail the Scar prow on the way to Gormanthan, but they arrive safely, mostly due to Yuri's fine sailing and not at all to Bryn's fictitious weather controlling abilities. The island before them is quite large, dominated by huge pine trees and black shale beaches. There's a haze rising above the trees due to the massive geysers going off near the center of the island. The virtues disembark and make their way towards the center. There are strange plant formation and odd blue glowing plants and red vines, which Declan took samples of. Um, they hear large rhythmic noises further in the forest and encounter a group of large centipede-like creatures. The result of the dragon blood spilt on Gormanthan. Midar is greatly wounded, but the virtues manage to subdue the giant bugs and move on. I should change that to squash because that is more fun. Squash the giant bugs and move on. At the heart of Gormanthan waits a tall figure with frosty-looking antlers and white hair, who introduces himself Devonian. Bryn recognizes him as a Winter Fae prince, and he claims that he is there to prevent any of the beasts below in the pit from coming to the surface and wreaking havoc. There's a thing beneath known as Macrawl the Liar, a master of arcane and illusions that has kept the whispers and memories of the battle here alive. The plant the virtues seek is down below because, of course, it is. Abrashmina asks if there's any aid the Fae can provide, as he cannot journey down into the pit with them. He gives them a shimmering moon blade named Al Ata. The party rests before delving into the pit, and they see illusions and visions of the past that outlined what happened in Gormanthan nearly an age ago. Visions of Makud's ancestor Inthris battling Octothrak, the green dragon, Indorok, the bronze grace being torn apart by Drastics. Inthris's battle with the Kitanarai and the Scion Terror. Inthris is attacked from behind by the Green Terror, and the illusion shows a silver grace freezing the Green Dragon in place. But when the magic fades, there's only the remains of Inthris and his hammer, and no signs of the dragons that fought here. And that is where we left off.
Real quick, I made two. Sorry, someone's hammering in the other room. Two true seeing tokens. I took one just to it so it's established. Who has it?
I'm not sure who you gave it to.
No, I mean I just said anybody could take it, but nobody claimed it. Somebody want it?
I have a thing that already gives me advantage on seeing through illusions, so I'm fine with. Maybe that should go to Makud.
Okay, I'll give it to Makud.
Sure.
Yeah, I figure if something goes invisible or tries to trick your brain, it'd be nice to be able to see through that shit.
Sure. I would agree. You might have to remind him when to use it.
I mean, you can probably use it now. It lasts for an hour, no concentration.
That's if people aren't going to want to do something for an hour.
Sure.
Or if we're going through that door, but...
Try to remind them.
Yeah.
Cool.
I suppose I will go ahead and do some, because Makud had mentioned that the green dragon wasn't here, as he picks up Inthris's hammer, I will go ahead and cast Death Ward on the four of us, just to be safe.
Okay, interesting development there.
She's going to feel really guilty about not doing it for Eli and Madar, but she will cross that guilt trip if the bridge burns.
I mean, when the bridge burns.
Huh? Well, I could just do it on myself and protect, the healer, me and Bryn, and protect the healers of the group, but that feels selfish. But, and Abrashmina is not selfish. No. Everybody's got Death Ward. The PCs, at least.
Alright. So, you'll rest. I think we sort of handled most of what everyone was doing during their rests at the end of last session.
I mean, not really resting because we haven't taken any damage since coming down here. It was more Makud taking a moment
apologies.
over Anthras's remains.
You rested outside, didn't you? My
Yes.
bad. Okay. Well,
Yeah, we wouldn't rest in
I was like,
here.
yeah.
Are you crazy?
I didn't think you had, but then I don't know, your recap made me think you had for some reason. Apologies. So yeah, you guys.
Could I have a moment picking up the hammer before we move on?
I was about to say, yeah.
Okay. I will stand up from kneeling in front of Enthras. And as I am doing so, I will in Mardu say, Enthras, I will bear your burden and see it's finished. And he will move to where the hammer lays nearby or something. You said it was...
Yeah, it's like standing, like the heavy kind of rectangular sandstone base is like in the ground and the handle's pointing straight up.
He will clasp the handle with one hand.
You see like a massive kind of swirl of dust, like a dust devil just like kind of move around the room. You can feel, everyone can sort of feel that there's more presence here than just, the people that you can see in the room. And the hammer sort of, there's this glowing yellow rune that looks like a single minotaur horn that begins to light up on the one side of the hammer, and you can see that there's two pairs of these horns, one on each side, but only one is glowing currently. It's a nice hammer.
He'll pick it up to look at the glowing side and then turn it to see the not glowing side, and the dust is still kicking up. I'm guessing.
Yeah. So there's on the one side you're looking at, one of the two horns is glowing, if that makes sense.
Okay.
If Declan is observing, can he make any heads or tails about why the other rune isn't glowing with an Arcana check or something?
Yeah, you can certainly try.
It's okay. That's pretty good. That's 28.
You reckon that artifacts like this require further things of their wielders than just attunement to unlock their full potential.
So maybe some sort of personal sacrifice or some kind of feat?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because it depends on the weapon, but yeah, there is something that will essentially level this weapon up as and when it is completed.
But not much indication about what that is.
No. Though, I mean, context clues, it's Enthras and whatnot, so...
Right, so probably kill that dragon or something.
That's a solid guess.
Well, Declan will say, mighty weapon and an appropriate gift, an old ancestor. Investment of your strength and time, I think, will make this weapon more than it currently is.
Sorry?
Perhaps the completion of unfinished business.
Yeah, you see, Makud, his expression solidifies into one of determination, and he kind of gives a acknowledging grunt.
Though it does beg the question, I know you will. Though it does beg the question, what will you do with your other two hammers?
So, I have one question.
I think I can guess what the question is.
Possibly. having given me a magical hammer right now, does it require an hour of attunement, or is it
That's
conveniently bonded within a minute?
that's not the question I thought you were going to ask.
Okay.
Which is good. Because I'm not sure my answer would have been right on that question, so we're going to pretend like I always knew the answer anyway. As for your actual question, I will say, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Con saving throw is a 23.
You look around Makud, and you see Enthris sort of appear in this ghostly, sort of bluish white ethereal form before you, and he kind of gives you a nod and kind of spreads his arms a little bit, and you see in a circle around you, just like appearing, 2 by 2 and encircling Makud are like more and more and more minotaurs of all kinds, all like Makud, strong and powerful. You see men, women, but all of the same bloodline, and they all kind of stare at you for a moment, Makud, and then Enthris like flies towards you into your chest, and you sort of stumble back, and then you see the others begin, and suddenly there are 24 Minotaur spirits like flying back into you, and you're being buffeted about and smacked about, and it's almost painful, and you can feel it sort of burning, and almost like you're too full and going to explode at any moment, but you hold your ground, you stand strong, and eventually you're left there panting, like I imagine like steam pouring from your nostrils, just ready and attuned to your new hammer.
Makud, I don't know, did the other people see the spirits? Or
Yes,
was he
yeah,
just
they saw everything.
spasming? Okay. He is gonna say with heavy breath, I think this one chooses me. And gonna have to get rid of one of the others and just hold on to it. Don't know. Maybe keep Ignites?
You do like the guy from One Piece and put one of them in your mouth.
Oh boy, I didn't think that reference would come from you. I am vaguely familiar with it, but only enough that I know what you were talking about. Unfortunately, I don't think I can. I could be attuned to all three of them and just forgo the arm bracer thing.
Just juggle hammers.
Pretty much what's happening.
I mean, you could summon like golems with your other guy, even if the thing's strapped on your back, right? Stay attuned to it.
Sure, yeah. I was thinking maybe keep Ignites and Harak.
He's gotta hit the hammer against the ground to summon the golem, so he'll have to do like a combat roll.
Maybe I could just smash my back
Just roll
into the
through.
wall or something.
Yeah. I mean, you can't use Igmutes and or you can't use Igmutes or the Pillar of Enthris, and another hammer, because they're both two-handed unless you have the armband. So you can only be attuned to 2 hammers in the armband.
That's true. I mean, I could just hold them. But yeah, I'll have to keep the armband and probably drop Varak, the cave shaker. So now he's like dual wielding 2 full-sized great hammers, as it were.
These are maybe 7-foot long hammers, like handle-wise.
Oh boy.
They
Taller
it
than
is.
Mina.
Yeah, they are
They're like his size.
huge. Yeah, and the if you have less than 17, 18 strength, you're gonna struggle to pick one up. Like, these are huge, but thanks to the strength of Makud's both muscles and attuned magical items, he can carry them both in one hand each, as though they were cutlery. He is
Silly.
he is the ultimate in meat tenderization technology.
Right. Spare dwarven hammer of the gods going. Anyone? Sacred artifact, priceless relic.
You
Just
hand
wait.
it to Mina, she just gets trapped under it like it's a fallen like beam.
Just
like, ah!
just wait till Declan gets his item that lets any weapon be a sneak attack weapon.
That's double.
Um, the dwarves already did one. Well, at least Clouthy the Smith. Is it Clouthy?
Calfee.
Giant Calfee.
Clouthy is the
It's the giant.
It's the same exact name except Clouthy has an L in it.
Sure. He didn't want the hammer back. I wonder what I'm going to do with the dwarf one apart from gather dust.
Give it to Jari or something.
You can give it to Eli and he can turn it into his pact weapon.
That's not a bad idea.
Hey,
He
Oh,
already got
no,
a
his,
sword.
yeah,
he
his sword. yeah,
he
his sword
he
is
does
pretty
have
badass.
a pretty badass sword.
Farouk will hang off his belt or something for now, as it was a smaller hammer.
Give it to Ubba
Could do.
for the ensuing combat.
He is genuinely quite a nice person. I'm sure he would be bowled over by, like, this is the... You don't know the dwarves, but this is one of their most precious artifacts. Here, you have it. Ah.
Right. That
Right.
was your ancestors, yes, Makut?
He's holding the hammer out, and I
Something-
imagine it's like dust, like whirling around him, almost like semi-permanently now, and he's like, they are here, stronger than they ever have been.
Hope that is not because we are close to reaching the misty place ourselves.
Who gives a bit of thought to that? No, I think I'm still very much here.
Good.
Well, unless there's anything else you'd like to do, would you all like to fight a boss?
Yeah, just a real quick tactics rundown though. So just a reminder, everybody, Bryn, Madar, Eli all have haste tokens to use. Eli was
Right.
going to use his on the food.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. Just want to remind you guys. And I'm going to get in melee this time. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy. Oh. Do we have like a sense that we are coming up on nastiness right now?
Oh yeah, I'll use my
Just
What?
a big old door, I think.
I think
Yeah.
I love you too.
Thanks. but-
Thanks. Yeah, that's very nice of you.
I'm sorry, here was Haley. Do we feel like we're coming up on imminent danger right now?
6 out of 10.
Big, scary, imposing door, but not necessarily a boss fight.
Okay.
I don't know. We're not Voxmech.
There's a chest with a shitload of anti-fish potions just beside the door. So
Would you all want me to go see what I can see? Abrashmina says, kind of lifting her kopesh.
what does your Kopesh do?
Makes me ethereal.
Can you make all of us ethereal?
No,
Okay.
that is not a thing. That is not a thing this can do. No.
I mean, yeah, could do that. Declan will just say, that would be useful, but please be careful, Mina. You do not know what powers this creature may possess.
Is it possible for you to keep in contact with my mind as I go forward, Bryn? That way, if something happens to me, you would know.
I mean, you could just scream loudly. And
If I am ethereal, you would not be able to hear.
yeah, if you're ethereal, she can't send
Well,
you
I mean,
messages.
I doubt Bryn could reach you on the ethereal plane, unfortunately.
Oh, that is
Also, I
true.
think she needs line of sight, and if you go through a door,
That is true. That is true. Okay, that is. And even if I did send them, you wouldn't be able to because I'd be on a different plane. So never mind.
Well, I mean, you would have to come back and report to us on what based on what you say.
If I'm
in case
okay.
in case she does come back.
If I am not, if you don't pick a time that you think is reasonable,
4
and if I
seconds.
am not back within that amount of time, then come for me.
Makood, count to 60.
Oh, it'll take him a while to get there.
1,
60.
4, 60.
Okay, well then Abrashmina will go ethereal and go scouting.
Oakley dokley. So this move through this ominous doorway and find yourself on a sort of heavy tunnel slope leading downwards. And when the floor kind of flattens out and the room opens up, you find yourself in a huge cavern, like dripping water, salt rocks, the whole shebang. And you can barely see the far edge. There is this sort of like area of land that you're on that sort of comes out sort of 30 feet forward and right to the edges of the cavern, which forms like the shoreline of this like unfathomable pool of very, very black looking water in the absence of so much light. And in the center of this gigantic pool, you see a rocky island on which you see a large stone font standing there. There's some kind of object in the font, but it's hard to see exactly what it is from here. You can just see like an edge poking up. It looks to be like silver or grey or something.
I'll approach up to like the edge of the water. Can they see down into it? Because it would technically be transparent in the ethereal plane. I think.
Let me check.
I don't think objects are transparent to you. You can move through them, but I don't think you can see through them.
Let me.
I was leaning towards the other direction. I think that everything
Yeah,
was
I'm
vaguely
pretty
transparent, just like she is to
Yeah.
us. We are to them.
Let
On the
me
other
look
side.
up etherealness.
You ignore objects and effects.
Creatures that are not on the ethereal plane can't perceive you and can't interact with you unless special ability allows them to. You ignore all objects and effects that aren't on the ethereal plane lying through the
You can
object.
see and hear the plane you originated from, but everything there looks grey, and you can't see anything more than 60 feet away.
Okay, yeah, I just read that too. Okay.
So you look
But I
down
can
into the
move.
water, and you do
And
not see much.
Going to go and like walk along like the water's edge, because I can move up or down. It just costs extra feet for me to stay up. If that makes sense. Kind of like walking towards the font to get a closer look.
How are you? Oh, so you're kind of skirting around the pool.
No.
Well, you can walk
over-
right across. You're not technically walking on. You can walk through the air if you want.
Yeah, I can walk through the air. Because you can move. If you move during this time, you can move in any direction. If you move up or down, every foot of movement costs an extra foot.
Okay. So yeah, you can start moving towards the font. Excellent. So you get about halfway across the water before between you and the font a very large bubble of air kind of surfaces.
very large bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Mina is going to turn back and head for the others.
You do that.
And yes, I do that. And I am able to. So she will return to the material plane and describe exactly what she saw. And a very large creature appears to be in the water in the font and whatever is there. I didn't get close enough to get a better look, I assume.
Right.
Okay.
It's like you know, a few hundred feet out
Sure.
on the water. Like it's far.
Yeah. I could probably technically barely see that there was a font vision
Yeah, true.
limitation on the ethereal plane. Okay. So I tell the others.
Could you describe the font? What was any iconography upon it? Symbology?
Too far
Could
away.
not see that well. Yeah, I could not see much details from that distance. The ethereal plane is very wispy.
Shame you could not get closer, but I suspect.
I had a very bad feeling, so I decided to turn around.
I understand. My instinct is to try to reach the font without engaging the creature. But if it saw you in the ethereal plane, we know that it has the power of true seeing. It senses and therefore see through any of our magics.
I do not know if it saw me. I just know that I was directly over it, and I decided not to take any chances.
I got the impression that you thought it saw you.
No, I just got closer, and a very large bubble came to the surface. I did not get any indication that anything saw me. I knew that something was there, and I decided not to take any chances.
I understand. We could attempt to dimension door directly to the font. Try to access it, destroy it, understand it, before whatever it is below the water can emerge.
This is true. I got I know the exact location of said font because I saw it even if I could not see the details. And I could dimension door directly there once we get close enough.
I have 2 tokens with dimension door stored. Oh no.
No, we lost a jade.
It has a lot of power.
Oh no.
Well, we probably don't want to start fighting this thing without her. Do we want to wait a little bit?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I mean, I know she doesn't care about our strategy, but we should probably not roll initiative without her.
So the hammer is called the Pillar of Entheris.
Oh yeah. Do you wanna give them the rundown on it?
It's like Makud's vestige legacy weapon type thing, so it levels up as Declan astutely assessed. Basically, it gives me the Echo Knight's powers at varying levels as it levels up.
Which one's the Echo Knight?
It's
the
the
one that
Matt Mercer.
put in the Wayfinder's
Yeah.
Guide. Basically, it's a fighter type that can make
Right, you make like
a duplicate. So, and it's kind of what
It's very
Rick's been doing
Makud.
anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like his abilities with bringing the spirit sword, protecting people, and then summoning with Igmuti's maul. It's kind of like that.
More bodies, basically creating more like
he has become summoner strat. So you get the manifest echo, the manifest Enthrus, and it's basically equivalent to you, but it only has 1 hit point, and you can attack through it. It can't attack itself. So like you have a body that, or like a sandy spiritual body that you can kind of use your opportunity attacks through. So if you like put it, it can only be 30 feet away from you as well. So say I put it like somewhere where a mage was and he tried to run away, I could opportunity attack through that creature, through the echo.
With your attack roll.
Pardon?
With your attack roll.
With my attack, yeah. And I could actually do my attack action through that echo, but I wouldn't be attacking myself at
Does
the
it
same
have to
time.
be on solid ground, or can you position it 3-dimensionally?
I think occupies a space, can command the echo to move 30 feet.
Yeah, I think because it's a creature and it doesn't have a flying speed, it's assumed to be walking.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, it manifests within 15 feet of you, and it's takes a bonus action to make, and I don't see anything about free movement, just that it can move 30. Oh, it does say 30 feet in any direction. I'm not sure if that's an oversight. Not say it doesn't
I'm happy
say
for it to-
horizontally, so potentially vertically.
Any direction usually means any direction. Is this something you made, or did you borrow it?
No, this is borrowed wholeheartedly from the Echo Knight that Matt Mercer wrote, and, was edited as an official D&D product. So I guess if they said any direction, then potentially any direction. One thing you can do is swap places with it.
Oh, cool. A little like limited Misty Step kind of thing.
Yes, effectively takes a bonus action, and the two of you swap.
Is that any number of times per day, or like number of times?
So that you just do. You just can do. That's not actually limited at all, making this creature, because it doesn't attack for itself, it doesn't have its own initiative, it's just an extension of you. So it will do nothing unless you do something through it, and I guess that's how they got away with that. Because there's no point to it. I mean, it only has 1 hit point, and get blown up in any fireball or any kind of area effect damage whatsoever. But it also won't act unless you spend your attack to act through it. So it's something a bit different, I guess. And I think like some of the gravity time stuff is pretty different as well.
Well, it's like a good utility item from a coup,
Yes.
A little bit of extra versatility beyond just like I do way more damage now,
It is very much that. That's what the Echo Knight is about. And then it will level, and it levels up to. The item goes up to 4 times, and it takes the first couple of features from the Echo Knight up to its level 10 feature. So then the next level is that you can basically a number of times equal to your con mod. You can, when you make an attack action, you can make a single attack through the echo.
So you basically
sorry.
So you basically multi-classed.
Kind of through this. And when it levels again, and I'm not saying these are going to be anytime soon necessarily, but you can do basically what Makud can do already using the clairvoyance thing from his consort of spirit. Basically, I can make this do the find familiar kind of thing where his senses go into the
Right.
echo, and then the echo can go around and explore, and in that form it can be up to 1,000 feet away before being destroyed.
Cool.
Whereas beforehand it could only be 30 feet of you, so it's quite limited combat. I can't chuck it too far away and teleport around crazy. And then the last one is kind of what Makud can already do with those spirits, where he reduces the damage. This is you throw your echo in front of someone else being attacked, and the echo takes the hit rather than they do, and very likely dies. And you can only do that once every short rest. So it's kind of doubling down on his utility things.
But the ability to move around in 3-dimensional space and like teleport, that will be pretty, I think, game changing for Makud. It was mostly just
within
but
30 feet. So it's like Misty Step, like you said.
but like being able to get up on a ledge where there are enemies or whatever without having to worry about a thrown attack roll or whatever. Or getting on top of the dragon and like smashing his head.
Sure. It's going to be allow for some more cool moments, I think. And that's really what it's for.
Prevention.
Full of cool awesomeness. And it also, for the item, as it levels, it goes up from a +1, like a +1 item to +2 and then +3.
Nice.
But need to finish some of that business.
Finish that business.
Indeed.
So I've been like just spending all my free moments like building and rebuilding different versions of my warlock for campaign 3. There's just
boy.
so many different ways to customize it between like feats and invocations and spells. Like you know, complete mental masturbation, but it's fun.
Wow. Hopefully we don't die in like the first 3 sessions.
Yeah, right. All that time.
I wouldn't do that to you guys.
You might decide that campaign 3 is the Dark Souls campaigns and make it even harder.
I mean, if we're doing Dark Souls, I'm definitely playing a cyanide for all the left.
That's very nice. Okay.
I mean, if we're doing Dark Souls, I've got some more prep to do.
I thought you were going to say if we're playing Dark Souls, everyone starts off basically naked with a rusty knife or something.
Yeah.
And then the first enemy you come across is a troll. Like, good luck.
One of the first like long-term campaigns I ran when I moved to Oregon. Ran for like 2.5 years, and they started. It was very like Elder Scrolls kind of start, where they start on like a prison ship and they've got none of their gear. And I made them like basically scavenge like all their gear off of like dead goblins and stuff. So the first like 5 levels, they were just running around in the wilderness trying to like scavenge like useful stuff. And by the end of it, they were superheroes, of course. So
makes it all worth it.
Is that one of the ones with Chris?
it was.
Did you play?
Actually, yeah.
Awesome.
You still talk to Chris?
Every once in a while, whenever I post something on Facebook, I'll comment on his posts and stuff.
Yeah, he's
But
great.
like talk, like conversation, like not really. More like interacting on Facebook every once in a while.
That's more or less how I interact with them too. It's sort of like, you know, every once in a while they'll send me a message about something, and then like and then I respond, and then like it just stops. Yeah. They're a little ADD, so they just like get sucked off into other things real quickly.
Yeah.
But he's a sweetheart.
Y'all. I really liked their
Their artificer.
Yes.
Yeah. I forget who they modeled it on. It was like the character from like Atlantis or something.
Yeah.
His name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was one of their boy crushes.
One of mine too. Because it was you know, Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox was a sweet boy. Is a sweet boy.
Yes. I forgot that's who that was though.
Mm-hmm.
And they drew his love interest in that super sexy too.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Atlantean Princess. I mean, I thought that whole movie had a really good art style. I thought all the characters, like from the little mole-looking science guy, and then like the old prospector and the giant black dude, like They all had like very distinctive silhouettes.
It's one of my
Very good character
favorite animated movies of all time. It's in my
Sarah's
top 5 Disney, for sure.
Yeah.
That, Treasure Planet, Robin Hood. They're like the 3 big ones for me.
The Fox Robin Hood.
Yeah.
That movie spawned so many furries.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sword in the Stone.
Oh, that's great.
Was weirdly attracted to that squirrel. They drew a thick.
Yeah, they did. They also did like non-anthropomorphic animals like slight bosoms. It's very strange.
Yeah, like I just recently watched The Frog Princess with Dan, and I remember thinking, like, okay, he looks like a frog, but she's like super thin, and he's got like these big pouty eyelashes that are all like blink, 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 and she's just, all like sexy frog.
They've
What
been
the
doing.
heck?
I mean, they've been doing that
Why?
forever. Like,
I know,
so like the
but he
Nala
looked.
fuck me eyes is like the biggest.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, sex frog.
This session's taking a turn already.
A good turn.
I've had the Macarena stuck in my head for like a day and a half.
Why would you even say that word out loud?
All the boys they over me, they can't have me. You're stuck with it for the rest of the day now, I promise.
I'm now just imagining Declan doing that. Like he's trying to concentrate, and then he just keeps humming along underneath his mask or something. God damn it!
You see his hips like swiveling ever so slightly.
It's Bryn's
That's
next
why
hit.
he's hiding all the time.
Yep. Macarena shame.
Macarena shit. This is gonna be so embarrassing when we all bust through this door and it's just like some swamp gas or something in this pool and.
Aw, monkey loves kitty. That's cute. Baby monkey. And cat are friends. This video.
See? Where's she gone?
I'm here.
No, no, you're there.
She's gone.
I was just thinking, what? Like, you are a death cleric and you've been taught like a certain way for so long, coming from in this perspective about putting people to rest or whatever, and they go wherever they go to hear watches, never come back, and then you meet this Minotaur who's just like basically can't shake these spirits constantly, just. Like, and they're getting stronger and stronger, and they're more and more present. I don't know if it's blasphemous or something, but now I have so many ways to effectively summon the dead, but in a nice way.
Yeah,
I
I think
guess.
that's the thing, is that it's not necromancy what's going on. So
Oh, I mean, it's necromancy, but it's not because isn't like cure wounds necromancy technically? Like
yeah, technically, it was in older editions. Now it's like abjuration or whatever, or evocation. It's evocation now,
whatever it is.
but it used to be necromancy.
The resurrection is still on necromancy.
Yeah. But it's not like they're entrapped.
Right.
Like they're choosing to be there. Like for me, the way I've kind of pictured Abarashmina viewing Makood's thing, it's like for her, he just has a more physical manifestation of someone like Ramiel. Like for her, it's not that strange to have some sort of ethereal spirit helping you out physically. So like Makood's just like her.
It's not exploitative.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
Oh,
Cue Makood when he finds a necromantic tome that he can now read because he's been taught to read.
He's learned to read. He just picks up one of Declan's manifestos about ending slavery. He's like, Wait, we're trying to end slavery?
I was under the wrong impression.
Oh shit, guys, we've been on the opposite team this whole time.
We
Just
all wake up at the puddle.
Slowly picking up 2 hammers. Ah, I'd really grown to like you guys. Okay, put the hammer down.
Just go talk to the dwarves, see if they're on board. Lead an uprising on the overworld.
They can't say no to Makud.
He has them under his thumb.
King of the dwarves.
All I want is sushi. Just like really good.
So, Guernsey's completely opened up again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The count was really low, right?
We haven't had a new. We've had 0 cases for like 55 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, as of Monday or as of tomorrow, sorry. Everything is back to exactly how it was pre-COVID. Maybe
Wow.
there's more hand san around, but there's nothing closed, no social distancing when you're in shops or that sort of thing. So
Do you guys have travel restrictions still?
yeah, we're not letting anyone in.
Yeah. Okay.
But on the island, I mean,
That was fun.
if you come to Guernsey, you can have 2-week quarantine. Hey Jade.
The prodigal daughter returns.
Welcome back.
Right, let's do this.
You fought the Kraken and you died.
Yes.
Guys,
we're up
why'd you
there.
keep saying Kraken? I've never said Kraken.
It's
Did I say Kraken? I think I might have said it's a Kraken. Fuck. That's
Problem
that.
playing people who have played this game for so long, like
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
yeah. I'm gonna rely heavily on the Rick and Morty stuff next time. Just because that should be weird enough to wig you guys out.
I'm not sure if you've seen this
No.
new thing they're doing in Icewind Dale,
The Rime of the
Frost.
Frost Maiden.
Yeah, I sent to you, Rob. But one of the things, because it seems to be Chris Perkins' baby, basically, and he's tried to write this adventure that he's saying it's basically the thing in fantasy, like, which is why I was sending you the stuff earlier. But it's quite a big book, and they have a lot of art apparently, and he's trying to do write basically an entire adventure with entirely new monsters, or at least all of the old monsters are different here than they are, just to try and invoke that fear that it's not.
This could be anything.
So, like, this is going to be a kraken. We all know what krakens are. We all know what they do.
Yeah.
Everything in this book will be new or changed.
That's
I
cool.
don't know. Todd like jokes about goblins with like shark teeth or something, but so he's tried to write an entire new thing so that actually elicits some fear again.
Yeah, it'll be
Among other things.
that's cool. I mean, I can come up with new monsters and stuff, but like sometimes you just got to stick a Kraken in front of your team.
They have at it.
Yeah, that's
We
similar to
determined
the.
We're getting ready to fight a kraken.
Dylan is fairly convinced it's a kraken.
Either way, let's get crack-a-lackin'.
My pun for the initiative on this one is Kraken battle, comma space this. It's not as bad as. Oh, what was the last one? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was a terrible one for the last fight. I remember that, but I can't remember what the last fight was. So. Yeah. So Mina's come up and explained everything, and you guys were making plans.
You missed Jade, but basically.
Yeah, I have no idea what's down there, but okay.
Okay, so she didn't get very far. She got about halfway across the water, and there was an air bubble, and she got freaked out and came back.
Okay.
But there's a like what do you call it? It's like
Font.
a font. There's a font on an island in the middle of a wide lake.
Something
that-
in.
It's probably important. So the suggestion that Declan made was, why don't we dimension door directly to the font, bypass the water, work as quick as we can to see what's going on there. and then hopefully do something to it or use it or whatever before this thing pops up and we have to fight it.
Do we have enough dimension door juice to get everyone there?
I think so. So you can cast it. Mina has a cloak. I have a cloak. I also have 2 tokens. I can do it.
Okay.
Right.
So before we do any of that, I would say to Makud, I think now would be a good time to use the token I gave you, Makud.
I can do that. If we're going to fight something in water, though, and he like taps one of the braces that isn't, he has so many braces on. I can breathe water. You can't, right?
Everybody has water breathing. I did it yesterday.
You did it yesterday, did you? Okay.
24 hours.
Because I thought we slept and stuff.
I think I did it like right before we went to bed, more or less. So it should still be.
You did take a long rest on at the start before the dungeon, though.
Right. No, I know, but I think that's still 8 hours out of 24.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. No, you would still have it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, you're right. I probably should take 10 minutes and cast it again.
Yes, please. I did not prep it.
Yeah, I'll take 10 minutes and cast water breathing as a ritual. I'm
Sure.
sorry, I totally messed up the timeline in my head.
Not a problem.
And then once that's done, I will use the token to cast Tensor's Transformation, and Declan gets all shimmery with Force energy as he goes minorly Super Saiyan.
How long does that last for?
10 minutes. So,
Cool.
I'll be ready.
As we could ever be, I think.
I'll give your token to Eli. So
A what token? Dimension door.
Dimension door. So that he and Madara can report in with us.
Okay.
Who is taking who?
I mean, I guess you could take Eli, and Bryn could take Madara, and I could take.
Yeah.
You take Makud. Okay.
We can save those tokens for emergencies so you can get out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I said we can save the tokens for an emergency if we need to get out.
But Makud, you'll probably have to duck your head a little bit to fit through.
I do not like the fact that they are. I hear rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like that. So let us go. Abrashmin is gonna wrap an arm around Eli's waist and look at him and be all like, "Are you ready, babe?" and give him a wink.
As ready as I'll ever be.
Before we go, try to scatter your positions. The position of the font is central. Try to be. How big was the island, Mina?
The island is yeah, I didn't say. It's quite small. It's about 30 feet in diameter.
Diameter. So
So
That's in total.
that's pretty.
So,
yeah, so the furthest you can be from the font is 15 feet.
Do your best not to be clustered. All right.
Yeah. And Abrashmina knows exactly where the font is, and she probably gave like a pretty accurate description to the others. So I know she is going to appear directly in front of the font with Eli, whether or not the others have. That
I'll say
luck.
they can sort of like run down, get line of sight, and then bamf, far enough to get there.
Okay.
oh, so we can open the door. I thought there was
The-
like a big foreboding door.
Yeah, I thought we weren't gonna try to open the door.
Oh, I see. Well then.
I'm just saying without
Yeah,
line of sight. You
they're
won't
gonna
get
have to
things.
roll. Yeah, they're gonna have to roll to see where
Yeah,
they
they are.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Thank you.
What are we rolling? Intelligence.
So intelligent guy.
So yeah, you can teleport to another location within range. You arrive at the spot as desired. Exactly. It can be a place you can see, one you can visualize, or one you can describe by stating the distance and direction, such as so far forward and so far at this angle, etc., etc. And
Yeah.
you can bring along a friend.
It's up to you if you want us to roll, but I think as long as you have generally pretty good directions,
Yeah,
you can.
I will say, Abrashmina, make roll me an intelligence.
Oh, to give them a proper description.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's gonna be my fault, you guys.
Well,
Hey,
it's
roll.
you trying to estimate the distance you travelled in ethereal. Like,
Yeah.
for an island you probably couldn't have seen.
You're right,
as
Dan.
well, so-
Disadvantage.
Could you roll wisdom because
No,
it's like a
okay.
spatial awareness?
I'm gonna say no.
Did you say disadvantage?
No, no, not disadvantage.
Okay. Can I guide myself?
No, because it already
9.
happened. Okay. You will all appear 1d20 feet from the font.
I will appear right.
You're fine.
My font, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Other teams roll a d20, whoever's doing the teleporting. And that's how many feet away from the font you appear. And if you roll over a 15,
I literally
Then-
rolled a 14.
oh, so you like right on the edge and like like arms flapping.
I've never been so happy to see a 4 in my life.
Declan's going to immediately like go into stealth mode, even kind of like
Okay.
fade into the ground a little bit.
There's nothing there.
Well, I mean, I can hide in the earth, but I guess I can't in that turn. Whatever.
All right. So roll me initiative, please.
Oh yeah, do this.
Can I see what is on the font in front of me?
I will tell you that once you've rolled initiative.
Declan rolls a 25.
Oh boy.
7.
Shit, got a 15.
What's your
With
dex?
advantage, I got a 14.
What's your dex, Jade?
Hold on a second. It is 18 plus 4.
Okie dokie.
It's cracking.
It could have been Eli or Mina.
I mean, it wasn't Nina.
Wait, what?
Eli or Madar even.
What happened?
Jade was assuming that she rolled the same initiative as the Kraken. And she did.
Oh, it's a Kraken now, is it?
Yeah, if you roll a natural 20, I'm gonna have to ask you to refrain from saying that's a Kraken, just because it's offensive to some of the people in this fight.
But it literally is a Kraken.
Okay, well all d20s that have a Kraken on give him a legendary action then.
I suddenly.
They prefer
the power's out
tentacly
again.
inclined.
I gotta go. Bye. The power's out.
It's a good thing I've got dice that don't have Krakens on.
They prefer pirate shipitarian.
Strict diet. Only small pirates.
Did you remember to roll Eli and Madar's?
I
initiative?
did. I
Okay.
did. They roll better than you. So you will see slowly.
Done my preparation-y things. I have a whole bunch of stuff I should have done.
You guys had 30 minutes before I came back.
No, but all of my stuff like lasts like a minute or something.
Mm-hmm.
Could have just still discussed
And we
this.
didn't know we were gonna fight.
Okay.
I suppose we could, didn't think.
You
What's
will
happening?
you will see the water roiling all around the island, and 4 enormous tentacles come rising out of the water, sort of this stony greyish green skin color, and you can see them sort of. They have these sort of weird like wheeling sort of flanges on them that you can get the impression of like almost tasting the air to try and find you, and the whole like cavern seems to be shaking as this thing like begins sort of ascending towards the surface of the water. Declan, it's your turn. You can currently see 4 tentacles.
Yes. I'm gonna move over to the font. and examine it. Like,
Oh,
investigate it.
yes. Well, you can all see in the center of the font is a very large object around the size of a human head. You see an egg that appears to be made of solid metal, a dark greyish metal that can only be considered iron.
Okay. Can I do a real quick investigation check to just see if I notice
may.
anything noticeworthy?
You may.
27.
The font itself is pretty nondescript. There are a few runes and things you see carved around the top in like a very old sort of draconic script. But they seem to be largely defunct at this point. It doesn't strike you as magical or trapped or anything like that in any way.
Is there any? Could I make me roll an Arcana check to see if I know anything about the egg?
Sure.
28.
Said it's a giant egg.
Yeah.
Size
So-
of my head.
Looks like it might be made of iron.
Yeah.
That's the shell, yeah.
So you would know that the king of the chromatic dragons is the only iron dragon to have ever been known of in history. It was rumored that he had a mate somewhere, but that dragon or person, whoever his mate is, has never been seen. He died at, I think, Aquamanthan. I'll have to double check. But seeing an iron egg is pretty huge, because, as I said, like there's only ever been one iron dragon, and no one knew what his breath weapon was. He never used it in front of anyone. So
this is presumably the egg of the King of Dragons, like the child of.
The good dragons.
the king
Say
of the.
chromatic.
I did say chromatic. I meant metallic.
Chromatic.
No, metallic.
It
I
needs
meant-
to-
I said chromatic. I meant metallic.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
So this is the King of Good Dragons. This is their egg.
Yeah, presumably because there has literally never been any other Iron Dragon that anyone has known about or written about in history. You know that for an absolute fact.
Looks like Nahasura and Deontay are gonna start child raising a little bit sooner than they thought.
I mean, who can add it to the menagerie?
Oh man, no. No.
Usually not.
We have to survive saving it first.
Does Declan think that if he picks it up, that it will trigger some kind of horribleness?
You don't think it's trapped or magical in any way. You do think if you pick it up, there's a high chance you'll drop it on your toe, because it probably weighs like 100 kilos.
Can we express that in pounds?
Like a rob's worth
Okay.
of weight.
Full-size grown man.
A 6'4" chonky man.
Thick boy. I mean, Declan's pretty strong. He's got proficiency in athletics, so if you let me roll an athletics check to just get it into my bag of holding.
Sure.
Would the
20
bag of
pounds.
holding would that be a bad idea? Bag of holding?
Eggs do breathe, but
Fair.
dragon eggs are a little bit different because they can lay dormant for years and years. You're confident it won't die.
Okay. In which case, I will try to do that. How do you like a 22?
A 22, yeah, you can slip it into your bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like a skill and not like sheer strength, he has to like brace himself just so, like put his back in the right position and do like a power lift. You know?
Yeah, it's like the Atlas stones.
But also the to remind you that your bag of holding is technically a box, so you have like a box that you just whomped it down into.
Sure. I mean, as long as it's out of danger.
No, I liked the visual of you like opening up the box, opening up the lid, and then just dropping it like a bowling ball into your box.
And then that's my turn.
Yeah, that's about all you can do. Brynhild.
So are the tentacles doing anything besides?
Wiggling menacingly.
I will. It's a action to use the haste token, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I guess I will crack the haste token, and then
So,
move towards.
Well, you'll get the extra hasted action. I'm sure you knew that. I didn't need to say it.
And then I will
Only
move.
if she cast it on herself. Oh, remember.
Or in a pound.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked the X on the Hangout tab there. Did I miss something?
I'm
Sprint
trying
time.
to crack the haste token and
Sure.
get within range to attack some tentacles.
Done.
And I shall attack. First one's a 30.
Oh fuck! I don't even know if that hits or not. It hits.
And the second one's a natural one, so.
That doesn't quite hit.
13 points of damage.
Making a start. Yeah.
Uh,
You see the tentacle just like whips sort of away from you, recoiling from the strike.
I still have a bonus action, so. Wisdom? Intelligence.
I mean, did you need that to break the token?
Use my action and then have my hasted action. Right?
Okay, hasted action is a single attack. It's not your full attack action.
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
But
The first one hit then.
I did.
Yeah.
And then your bonus action.
Intelligence saving throw. 18.
That's a fail.
He did roll a natural 5.
13 points of
Sorry. You rolled a 5 and you got a 18?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
So what are you talking about? I've never seen this man in my life, Your Honor.
And the first time it makes a saving throw before the end of my next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the
Nice. Please remind me of that when it comes to it. Oh hey, it might come to it now. Perhaps not, but it's its go. And it's going to attack 3 of you with tentacles.
Is it clear that it can see us in some way?
Yeah, I described the tentacles having weird flanges that could sense you.
Or like tasting the air.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's got that snake taste, boy. We'll say
Which 3 is it going to attack?
I'm trying to decide. And because you asked,
there, so.
it will attack Bryn, it will
There's 3
attack
of us.
Mina, and it will attack... Hey, it'll attack Eli. Bryn does a 34 hit.
Barely.
Okay. Mina does a 25 hit.
Mm-hmm.
Eli does a 25 hit. Yes. Okay. All 3 of you are grappled. 21 bludgeoning to Bryn, 9 bludgeoning to Mina, and 19 bludgeoning
Movement.
to Mina. Sorry,
How much?
and 19
19.
and
I was gonna say I got off lucky.
20 to Eli. That in there. And that's going to be its turn for now. Makood.
Okay, so armor won't be a thing in this fight. Makuda has so many things. He maybe should have done before now.
Like, picked a different career path.
Sure. I was more
Diversified his
thinking, like,
portfolio.
use the chimes maybe, or something else, but I should have used my reaction to negate some of that damage. Oh well. There's one free tentacle because there was 4 of them up there. Is he in range of all of the tentacles if he was to move to one of them?
You're not within attacking range of all the tentacles, but you can be hit by all the tentacles, and you can get to any of them, yeah.
Okay, cool. He is going to... Why not? Double summon time. He is gonna... So he has Igmutis in one, and then the Pillar of Enthris in the other, and he's gonna Igmuti, he's gonna slam the rocky island, and he's going to make an Enthris out of rocks, or another ancestor. Now he has witnessed more of them potentially. As his action, and then and then with his bonus action, he is going to use the manifest Enthris and make his own Enthris. He is going to move for a tentacle, and he is going to send Enthris into the water to try and find where, like, the Kraken, if you can see it.
Yeah, so can you see through Enthris?
Not right now.
Okay.
No. But he's going to attack. He's going to go like make it go 30 feet further in, and see what. But that's weird. That, like, I can't see through Entris's thing, but then I can also attack through it if it happens. But and then the elemental will go on its turn, which I presume is after me.
Yeah. Please.
I only just decided to do this, so I don't know about the elemental. I will have very shortly. Earth elemental. Okay, so Earth elemental. He is going to use his 30-foot movement speed to get to whatever tentacle that Mina is on, and he is going to, presuming I can't kind of unwrap her from the grapple, is that something it could do, or should I just slam the tentacle a bunch?
Yeah, you can maybe like give her the help action, but that's about it, I think.
Okay, right. He will attempt to bludgeon the tentacle to try and let Mina go. That's 2 18s. I rolled the same thing.
2 18s to hit.
To hit.
That hits.
It does hit.
They both hit. Yeah.
The first one hits for 13 damage. Oh, the next one is better. The next one hits for 20.
What was the first one, sorry?
13 damage.
13. And then 20. Awesome. Thank you.
I'm going to say that the summoning Entrus made Entrus, maybe? I don't know if there's two Entruses, or they're both just nondescript ancestors, or if it's Earth Ancestor and Entrus Echo, I suppose.
Yeah, so you see one is Entrus and one is like this really like much bulkier than Entrus, like wider, almost not quite a pot belly, but he's got that sort of like strongman shelf kind of belly, and has this like wicked headdress and really long sort of curving outward horns, kind of like a yak, and he's holding the same hammer that you are, the Pillar of Entrus. At the end of your turn, the Kraken is going to use a legendary action. Okay. 1 to 2 Eli, 3 to 4 Bryn, 5 to 6 Mina. That's a 4, that's Bryn. Bryn, you are flung 60 feet towards the entrance of the room. You will take 10 bludgeoning damage as you hit the water, and it is freezing and biting and salty and horrible as you are now 60 feet away in the water. Yeah, pretty much. And with that, it is Eli's go. He is going to use his action to cast Haste on Makood. And then it's Madar's go. And Madar is going to I was like looking through, and then I saw the try and the fish command. She could go for it. I don't feel that's a good idea, but imagine if it works. That's all I'm saying.
I think there has to be a beast, right?
A Kraken?
No, a Kraken's not beast.
It's not naturally occurring.
No. I think the Trident Fish command only works on beasts.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does. But I mean...
The way you said that, it sounded like you were saying Kraken was a beast.
No.
It's like an almost living god.
Don't assume Rob's bad idea.
It'd be really funny if it worked, though. That's all I'm saying. But no, she will do many punches. How much does that cost? Oh, sweet. Okay. So she's going to flurry of blows as well, because she's got like 1 million key points. So that is going to be 4 attacks. Oh no, 5 attacks. Right? No, 4 attacks. I don't know. Well, that one is a miss.
Attack, bonus action offhand, and then the flurry of blows gives
Yeah,
her
the
extra...
the offhand was my question. Do you get offhand if you're unarmed?
You have to offhand Marshall to do the flurry of blows.
Yeah. It's a punch, kick, headbutt, something like that.
Okay. So 5
So-
attacks.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, she could plus 10. So that first one misses. Second one's at 29. That hits. Third one's a hit. Fourth one's a hit. She rolled real well. Oh, and they're D8s. Fuck.
And her fifth one?
Oh yeah. 28 hits. So 8.
When you flurry
14.
blows, it takes you have to have used your attack action, then you spend a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes
Yeah.
as a bonus action.
Yeah.
So,
No, it was more
Oh, so
me
4.
one.
so it should be 4.
Oh, okay, so only 3 hits.
Well,
I
but
think
she has 2 attacks.
And is she hasted?
No.
But she only has one bonus action, so it's attack. Flurry of blows is 2, so 4
Yeah, but
attacks.
that's what my question was. Is because if say my dual wielding, does she count as dual wielding basically? Because she's got 2
Yes.
fists. So then it's 5.
No, your
Oh,
bonus
yeah.
action is taken up by the
Oh,
flurry
I
of
see.
blows, which
Yes.
is instead
I
of
see.
having 1
Yeah.
offhand attack, you now have 2 offhand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So
You don't
4
get a
hits.
bonus action offhand every time you attack. So 3 hits, because she had 4 attacks, and she hit 3 times.
I thought you were
Correct.
saying 5 because she used her haste token.
Oh, she's not using that.
hasted.
16, 29, 38 damage all up. Damn. Yeah, she gives it a good spanking. The tentacle sort of leans in. I imagine it's probably the one that had grabbed Bryn, and she just begins absolutely battering it with the glowing fists. At the end of her turn, you see like this black smoke kind of bubbling up from underneath the water, and I'm going to need Declan, Madar, and Makud to make dexterity saving throws, please, as 3 bolts of lightning fly towards each of you.
Oh shit.
Madar makes the save, she takes no damage.
Yeah, Madar fails. Natural 2. Success.
I got 18, which is not bad.
Fail.
Sad times.
Makud, you take 27.
Roll with advantage, Ken?
Right?
Did you
Yeah,
roll with
you'd
advantage?
have advantage.
Because you're hasted.
No, because you're
hasted and you have
barbarian.
Yeah, if I could say come.
Danger
It
sense.
didn't make any difference, I'm afraid.
You
I only have
took
plus 3 dex save, so 18 was pretty good.
27
Yeah.
for
Taken.
you, and 13 for Declan, or near none, I guess.
Nothing.
Mina.
This is my go. Okay. Now, Devonian, the Fey Winter Prince, described Macroll the Liar as a thing from another plane. Did he not?
You might have.
Banish.
I am going to cast Banishment at the 5th level, because I do not have any 4th level spell slots left. It will have a -4 to its saving, or a d4 to its saving throw, thanks to Mindstar.
What's the save?
19.
No, what am I rolling?
Charisma.
Shit. Oh, I'm gonna be so mad.
Sure.
It's the one it
it's-
doesn't have a fucking bonus to.
If it's a creature making legendary actions, it
It-
should have legendary resistance.
It doesn't. It does not have legendary resistances.
I mean, that's silly.
Oh, thank fuck. That was a 1 for so long, and then it was a 19.
Minus a d4, please.
So 24 minus 1, 23.
God damn it.
Bad luck. Good try.
Yep, that was my Hail Mary.
I mean, considering the chance of success on that, that's worth another shot.
Yeah.
Is that your go?
That is my action. I cannot do anything else with my bonus until someone goes unconscious. Because I am grappled still, yes?
True.
So yes, that is
This
my
next turn's
go.
gonna suck for you.
Thanks.
Declan.
Wanting very much to turn the tentacle holding Mina to mincemeat, he will charge, holding Alatar and drawing sword, haunting in his offhand. Make 3 attacks.
Attacks.
Attacking most brutally.
Go for it, my son.
Rolling with advantage. The first attack is an 18 exactly.
Hits.
Okay. I'll just roll them all at once here. Second attack is an 18 on the die, so that hits. The third attack is a 19 on the die, which also hits, but it's not a crit, unfortunately. So I'm gonna roll a shit ton of dice. That is 2d8 plus 8d6 plus 6d12 plus 32. So
Damn.
I'm gonna mute this shit for you.
Cat, this is not a time for you. This is a time for Krakens. And last time I checked, you were not a Kraken. Don't do it. Excellent.
Good cat.
No, she did it. Jade Sharp.
Listen, I
Yeah.
mean, it's cat. They're going to do exactly what you tell them not to do.
Yeah, she. If I want to get her off me though, I have to just hold her in the air until she realizes I'm not going to put her down. And then
That's because you're cool.
it's quite funny though.
Hey, kitten. Why are you sleeping in my bra? Get out of my bra.
Yeah, I can ask you the same question, Bumpy.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you get up. Yes, I was. You come here, you kitty. Come here, kitty. Let me pick you up.
Now I want to go get my cat.
Cat team.
How many cats does it take for Declan to roll all of his damage dice? 3 cats.
No,
She
my
re-
cat's over there leaving me alone right now, so
What's your cat called, Jade?
Cam.
Cam.
Oh my god.
Mine.
God damn it.
I have Dorian Parvis.
136 damage.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
That's force damage if it matters, and then the rest is piercing. Some slashing in there.
196. 136.
137.
130.
That's not the number he said, Corinne.
130.
Said yeah.
100
136.
Yeah, she said
No, I thought you
137.
said something.
136 points of damage.
That's what he said. 136.
136.
Mm-hmm.
If I was smart, I would have saved my bonus action to disengage, but I didn't.
It
Oh man, you just get in there and start swinging.
is
Welcome to the
This
front
is Rob.
line.
This is Rob, like, trying to decide whether or not he's going to add hit points to it after the fact.
It's not. It's me trying to add 136 to an already quite large number. The Kraken is now exactly bloodied.
Right.
Well,
Um,
we are very scary people.
One round of combat, we do way too much damage.
Declan, Bryn.
I mean, that's what happens when you give Mordenkainen's transformation that's meant to make, you know, a piddly wizard a combat character, and you give it to
Yeah.
an existing combat character.
Actually overpowered.
Yeah.
Bryn?
Tense's transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So, how the water's pretty deep for me to get back over there, right?
I mean, you can
When I have to
swim.
swim.
Yeah. Like this water is unfathomably deep. It will take. You can only move
So I
half
guess
your
I'll
speed swimming.
swim.
Yeah. Okay. So if you take the dash
And
action,
then
you
I'll
can move
use my
30 feet.
action and then I'm about 30 feet away. I'm gonna turn away.
Yeah.
Hard is
But that so you can move half your movement speed. So if you dash, you can move 30 feet around.
She's asking if dashing will get her 30 feet.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, yeah, 30 feet around, and I was flying initially
60 feet.
correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take another turn for me to go.
Yeah. Another dash.
Right?
With your hasted action, you could dash and get an extra 30.
She's not hasted.
She did haste herself.
I did
She
haste
hasted you.
myself.
No, that
Oh,
was
I
Hasted
Eli.
herself. Eli hasted me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she
that's
could
right.
go. She
Sorry,
could go
there's too many
another.
haste things going on.
She could go another
So I could
15
get
feet.
I could get 15 feet.
Yeah.
closer, right?
Yeah, which would put you one movement away.
All right. My actual movement away.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do that.
As long as something doesn't grab you.
Why would you?
But haste doubles your speed. So it's only
Oh.
No, yeah, your speed is 60, and you can take it at a bonus action to dash. So you could move 120 feet
Oh.
normally.
So I could get back.
So you could
So
get
you
in
can go
there in one run.
60.
Yeah.
So you could be back in
Yeah.
the
You can also use your regular action. If you don't want to do anything else, you could move dash dash.
Can
I mean, it
get
only
there
takes-
And at least have one swing at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
Move
I'm
dash
gonna-
attack.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drop 3 off the rapier to add to my AC,
Okay.
and I'm gonna flash defensively. That is a natural 20.
Good. Good.
What? Get it, get it, get it, get it.
C could be, with that last thing he said, you could be either in a D&D fight, or at a football match,
He's laughing at Rob.
or at a kegger.
30, 31.
Okay. Yep.
And that's my go.
Excellent. Cracking turn. McCrawl, the liar, is going to tell some lies. Everyone needs to make a save. Wisdom save.
What save?
I think you dropped out, Rob. What's going on?
Wisdom save.
We're making a wisdom save.
All of us are?
Wisdom
Everyone.
save.
I'm sorry.
Wisdom save. Oh no, I'm gonna use my inspiration from the recap to turn this natural 1 into. That's much better. A 25.
Success.
Am I also rolling?
Everyone.
Everybody.
Yes, everyone.
Affects everyone.
My internet connection was bad. or something.
Everyone. GIF.
Rob's having a bad time, but I think other people are as well.
I'm going to use my reaction to give myself advantage on this roll. And that is going to be a 14.
I rolled a 7.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I also got a 14.
Okay. So, Mina and Madar were the only ones who saved. Madar got a natural 20 and only just saved.
What did Eli get?
He got a natural 11 plus
Bamboozled.
or -2,
Oh, he got.
so 9. Okay.
Dumb.
So we're gonna go around the table now, and everyone's gonna tell me what their worst fear is, or their character's worst fear is.
Oh no.
And
You're echoing real funny, Rob.
He's actually lagging so much that like his sentences are repeating on top of each other.
ooh,
He was doing the row your boat, like, staggered thing, whatever that's called, with himself.
sorry. It's really annoying because I've got it set to incoming. I should only see audio only, but it's still showing me everyone's videos. So I don't know why. Like I've turned it on the lowest settings
That's
for bandwidth. Yeah. So
Would it help if, like, I turned my broadcast just to audio only?
maybe if you turned off your camera, I'm not sure. It can't hurt.
I don't think
Certainly.
you can.
What? Turn off your camera?
Was that a maybe? Oh god.
I think he's saying maybe.
We'll see if that helps.
Because then you're not loading like a full video of a person streaming it, because you're not sending it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
As
Hopefully
much
this
as I
helps,
hate
Rob.
not to see your face, Dylan, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know why this happens. Like I was in a hangout, 2 hours ago, and playing a
To be honest,
game.
if you can still hear me,
Yeah.
everyone sounds pretty bad to me.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst quality hangouts.
Everyone sounds okay
Okay.
to me except for Rob.
Rob is the
Yes.
worst, but for me, everyone has been bad at some point.
Alright, well, we said we were going to try
I'm sorry.
Discord at some fucking point.
Okay.
I feel
You
like
the
we should
least
do that.
Cade. It's mostly the other two, Glares.
We could switch to Discord.
No.
No.
Why?
Was this a suggestion?
Nobody has a Zoom.
Hello.
Hi.
This is
Fair
what.
sentence?
Hello, can you hear me?
Rob?
Hello?
Hello.
I can hear you, Rob.
You
Can
can.
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Deck, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Right. It didn't seem very
Oh
comfortable
gosh.
at the beginning.
I don't know. I can hear you all fine, but I don't know if there's like a lag or something.
Jade, I'm scared of
Oh.
change.
What is this? What is this?
This is what my company
I have
uses.
never heard of this.
That's weird.
So
It
this
looks like Zoom.
this is the corporate basically version of Google Hangout. So it's what my company uses, but you can just use it if you have a Google account. and I find it much more
I'm
stable
just
than
gonna
Hangouts.
change this layout because change is weird.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not he was repeating on himself or not.
A little bit.
Am
It's
I
not
still
as
fucky?
bad.
Well, I've been able to turn on the audio, like audio only thing.
You do
So.
seem better. Not saying it's perfect.
All right. Well, we're
Just curious. Am I presenting the Makood layout?
You
Okay,
are,
Cool.
and I'm Abrashmina.
You are.
also, if you want some comedy, there's a caption function, like on YouTube videos, and it's very bad. So if you're bored or whatever, and you want to see it, try and pronounce all these dragon names and see how what it thinks I'm saying.
Oh no.
You've lagged out again. You're back now.
It's not as bad as it was, though.
Okay. Well, we'll
Get
see.
back to killing us.
Yeah, we're supposed to think about our worst fears.
Yeah.
Horrible things, huh?
Like Hangouts, disconnecting.
Yeah.
Roboting.
Everyone who failed takes 19 psychic damage.
Oh no.
I
And-
resist the shit out of it.
And your worst fears are manifested as an implacable threat,
Ooh.
and you're all frightened.
Oh no.
Mina, you take 0 damage, by the way.
Yay.
Oh, my bad. You're actually supposed to take the psychic damage every turn at the end of your turn. So,
We get a save.
yeah, you make a save every turn. So tell me what all your character's deepest fears manifesting looks like.
It's probably some like nega version of Declan who's like a bad guy.
Dan? Jade?
I would say probably Bryn failing to get to her mother in time.
Okay.
Zombie Bryn's mom.
No.
Makood is too stupid to believe he can fail, so he's fine. It's probably like fear of failure, but I've not played that like at all because I honestly think he doesn't consider it very much. He like has a lot riding on him potentially. Save the world, kill the dragons, bear his entire society, keep everybody alive, etc. Like
People forgetting
aeons
his
of
name.
ancestors. Ooh.
Is that Makood's
That's
worst fear?
kind of tied in. But
Yeah.
I suppose that has been a very surface level
Hmm.
representation of fear of
Yeah.
failure, because if he has failed, people won't remember him. So
Okay. Yeah. So
if you dig down deep, I think it is fear
Yeah.
of failure.
So Declan, you see like you say, like yourself like just off to one side of you, just like killing innocents, and generally going down a dark path. Bryn, you see like your mother is in like the clutches of one of the tentacles, just being like slammed and thrown around. And Makood, you just see corpses of your family and friends. Just the whole island is littered with bodies, kind of like that Iron Man Age of Ultron.
Sure.
Everyone dead around you.
What I was thinking was Naboo with the music playing as he just turns away from
Eli sees himself, or sort of, I imagine, more has a vision of himself completely alone. He can no longer see anyone or anything around him. He's just in a void. No one can hear him, no one can see him. Everyone's gone. Except the Kraken. He can attack the Kraken. But he's on his own. That's his fear. If you couldn't
Oh.
tell. Makood.
Oh, good. I'll make the save at the end. Not that I think I'm actually capable of saving, potentially. I suppose if I crit.
Mm-hmm.
So Makood sees
Can-
everybody. Sorry?
Can you be frightened or thingy-mabobbed as a
It's-
barbarian at that level?
It's not the berserker like mindless rage.
Yo.
That's only for that one archetype, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The one that no one takes because everyone takes bear instead.
I mean, Bear's just so hard not to play. It's so good.
I know, but the other one is the one that has the mindless rage where they become immune to fear, I believe. So if everybody is dead, I mean his actions were to save Mina, but she's died. So revenge. He's gonna rage because he hasn't raged yet.
Oh
he-
god.
Had to wait till it was narratively appropriate.
It's still hasted, I guess,
Yeah.
but he's probably
Yeah.
not smart enough quite to feel it in the moment that Eli's actually still alive and hasting him. Less concentration has dropped, but he is double movement, so he has 160 feet movement.
Yikes.
He's gonna do that into the water to find this thing. Hitting its arms. He wants to hit its face.
Yeah, so you see looming up this great toothy maw surrounded by tentacles and these two like vicious little eyes on the sides of its head.
You can't move closer to it though.
Dude, you have true sight.
Oh, I do have true sight. That's a good point. I
That's
did
when
take the thing.
So you're still well,
You're still frightened, but
you don't see the illusion. But-
So everyone is still alive to him. Okay.
You can
Change.
see
He's
that
still-
everyone's still alive, but you're still frightened, I guess.
Okay, well I already moved nearer to... It's a good point I couldn't move nearer to it, but I can't really see it beyond the tentacles, but... Yes, he's already next to the tentacle because I moved him over last turn.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So he probably sees like flickering images of them dead.
I
then
actually don't think it would affect you. Because the whole thing of the spell is it creates illusions, and you can't you perceive through illusions. So yeah, I'm gonna say it doesn't affect you.
I did fail and I did take the damage, but yes.
You can reverse the damage if you wish.
No, not at all. I think like it tried to. It did successfully invade
Okay.
his mind. It just didn't,
Yeah.
befuddle him.
I think you're right though that the fear effect is tied to your perception of the illusion.
Yeah, like it doesn't. It just says each creature within
Still-
range must make a Wisdom save, but I think because it's an illusory base spell, so
He still hasn't considered his own failure. Excellent.
love you, Maku. Love you.
So with True Saying, he doesn't see anything any different, and he had already moved over to the tentacle.
You might see it,
And-
but know that it's an illusion. Like that's fake. It's trying to be tricked.
Sure, there might have been like a flicker of dead friends or something. He is going to rage where he is. And then he will take his action to strike at said tentacle. Because he
Do it.
still believes Mina can be saved at this point. That is 25 to hit and 22 to hit.
Both hit.
Both with the Pillar of Inthriz. That is more damage, and it is a little bit of force damage on top from being Madrigal. 20 damage for the first hit. I didn't say Great Weapon Master or anything like that. But, we will just carry on without Great Weapon Master at the minute. 22 damage from the second hit.
Okay.
And that's his turn.
Okay, your dude.
Yes, Earth Dude, who is next to him, also pummeling said tentacle. One miss, and one of them is a 19.
Hits.
And there's 18 hit. Just have to check. D8. Okay. It's not bad. 17 damage.
That's not bad.
Those are my contributions to this tentacle. It's now taken near 100 damage.
Yeah. The tentacles don't really have hit points.
Sure. I mean, I wondered if they were, if I did enough, it would drop her. But it's
Yeah.
okay. That's what he's attempting to do, or at least it might regret holding her for a while if it's taking so much damage.
Yeah, fair. It will take a legendary action at the end of your turn, Makud, to smack you back with a tentacle. That's a kraken. I didn't roll on it. Okay, well, it's still a 37. Uh, 19 bludgeoning damage as it just whaps you across the face.
19 down to 9. Page. Wait.
Eli's turn. I had a thing, but I don't know if you should do it. I was gonna do this whole thing.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh shit, sorry, I'm hasted, so I've got an extra attack.
Oh, fucking do it.
Real quick, 20 to hit, not natural, and plus 10, another 20 damage.
Okay. So, should he do? Yeah, he should do his cool thing. Okay. So he is going to use his phenomenal cosmic powers to cast the Weakened Wish spell. He's going to cast Planar Ally.
Ooh.
Do it, Eli, get it.
So, you see him sort of surveying the scary scene around him, and he thinks that he doesn't want to be alone, and one of the only people he can think that he can bring to join him that isn't a demon is also one of the last people he wants to see, but he kind of steadies himself, spins his arms, and you see, like, those of you who can see, like, golden smoke pouring off his hands. He's doing this sort of back and forwards dance, and it billows out into this huge cloud that forms this giant great Jinni, above him, gold skinned like he is, these long curving horns, and a kind of thick white beard, carrying a huge like two-handed scimitar, and it sort of regards him curiously for a moment, and he stares back up at it before it nods and turns towards the Kraken, and it's going to take some attacks. Hit, natural 1, miss. Well, that's just fucking classic, isn't it? And then 2 fucking snake eyes on the 2d6, so 7 slashing, and 1, like, I just rolled 3 1s in a row on 3d6. Wow. So 7 slashing, 1 lightning.
From the hit?
Yeah.
Did you say you crit after that? Or?
No, crit fail.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I might have just said crit, but I meant crit fail.
I heard crit fail.
Okay.
I didn't think we got a fail. Okay.
Excellent.
Hey.
And that's going to be his turn, and Madara's going to use the Trident of Fish. Oh, fine, okay. She's going to take her 4 attacks and spend another key point. Natural 18, hit. Natural 1. 22. Natural 1. Fuck me. 3 natural 1s in 2 turns. Or in 1 round. So that was 2 hits. 12 damage on the first and 13 damage on the second. 25 all up. She's just battering into this thing as well. Mina.
Okay. Let's see. The tentacles are all like can I see like or make like a guess on where the center of this creature might be with all the tentacles flying around and
You
what
can.
have
You can see there's more tentacles like clustered over by one side, the side where Makud is.
Okay. Do. Abrashmina is going to clutch her holy symbol as like she's being held up by this creature, and she is going to bring something that has not been in this place for a very long time, and she is going to cast Dawn. I would need the creature in that point to make a Constitution saving throw.
So all creatures? Or just...
It's in a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of bright light.
Okay.
It is sunlight.
So you can probably hit it without hitting ours because it's massive.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was my intention.
30.
Yeah, I figured it was going to save, but is still going to take. I can math. 14 points of radiant damage half to 7. And it will make the saving throw every time it ends its turn in the cylinder.
Well, alrighty.
I've just thought, do you want me to re-roll? Do you want me to roll a save for Makud about the recurring psychic damage?
No. You
No?
don't have to do that.
Okay, cool.
Everyone else will the turn after this.
Okay.
No,
Have they
the
been?
others also have to save.
Not you, yeah. So just Bryn and
Did Eli
Eli.
get to make another save?
No, because I. Oh, no, he didn't. 10 plus his. Oh, minus his wisdom. Yeah, so 8. He actually, unless he crits, cannot succeed. Because he is not wise. Because he's a fucking dumbass. Declan.
I'm just gonna say, Dylan, thank you for the token. Makood probably doesn't know what's going on, but
Makood
helped
probably doesn't
immensely.
know any better, but to you, Dan, you're welcome.
Cool.
Yeah. Declan, is he still within melee striking range of a tentacle?
He is indeed.
And I will continue to slash at it viciously. With
Who?
all my stabby powers. First attack is a 25. Rolling
Hits.
advantage. Second attack is a 30.
Hits.
Third attack is a dirty 20.
Hits.
Where's my crits? Come on. Gonna roll some hits.
Now do you see why I made the dragons a mile long?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about either.
Okay.
This episode is sponsored by D&D Beyond.
That is. God, what did the calculator say? Hold on. Where is it? 127 points of damage.
Good lord.
Describe how you kill Macraw the Liar.
So using the additional force of Tensor's transformation, Declan is going to sort of like back up a little bit and sprint and sort of like spin in the air so that the blades that he's wielding become this sort of like spinning, like two spinning sides at his side, completely bisect the tentacle, at which point just this geyser of blood spills out, and it just bleeds out. Declan lands in the water with a splash. Superhero landing.
And Macraw sinks slowly out of sight in the dark water.
I like this sword very much. Shakes it off and sheaths it.
Abrashmina got a very good score on her dex, so when the Kraken released her, she did not fall flat on her face.
Is everyone all right?
You look over and you see Eli kind of staring at the genie in front of him, and he kind of gives it a bow, and it bows back and then fades from existence.
Who was that?
My father.
Kind of look over at Abrashmina.
Abrashmina does not look surprised. Comes over and takes Eli's hand and kind of gives it like a reassuring squeeze.
Yeah. Declan, with your insight, you're pretty sure Eli doesn't have the best relationship with his folks.
Gotcha. Well then, Declan will drop it. to come.
Did we get the egg?
Yes, I have the egg. Weren't we looking for a plant, though?
We do need to still find the worm pill, yes. But I think Nahasira will greatly appreciate this discovery much, much more. Don't think anyone was expecting this.
Declan will set about looking for the plant.
Make me an investigation check.
Sure. 26.
So you see over on the sort of land at the entrance to this room, the wormthill plants growing and glowing gently in the darkness against the shores of the water.
Can I just harvest as much as possible? It's a pretty useful thing, I imagine.
Yeah, you can, all in all, we'll say harvest 4d10 plants.
20.
20 plants, was that, sorry?
20, yeah.
Yeah, 20. With the dawn spell, is the water illuminated? Is there anything within its depths worth retrieving while we have water breathing?
Yeah, so you can see there is like a tunnel out that, bless you, that seems to lead into the water or into the ocean. Make me a perception check quickly.
Ooh, I'm good at those.
I will assist if you want it.
Sure. Oh, that's cocked. Cat! 27.
Okay, you do see something down there. You see a skeleton of some kind of humanoid. And
Of a what?
some kind of humanoid. And that skeleton appears to be wearing some very fancy armor. Looks like a very fancy sort of breastplate type armor.
I'm going to tell the others what I saw and then go retrieve it.
I'll go get it.
Okay. I am more than welcome. I am more than willing to let you get yourself wet.
Of course.
Okay.
I can flash. Yeah, I'll see if I could. With water breathing, I mean, probably a pain in the butt to get armor off a person, but
Yeah, you can drag it up. Yeah.
It's also like a skeleton. You can just grab it and shake it really.
Bring a skeleton with it, guys. Bring a skeleton with it.
You get it up and you can see it's sort of this sort of blackish slate grey color, and it is emblazoned with this sort of skull imagery, but not. It doesn't give evil vibes. More of a sort of Day of the Dead vibes, if that makes sense. More like meaner death than necromancer death.
Is something you might find useful, Brynhild?
Abrashmina looks down at her breastplate, kind of like tings it a little bit.
It looks a little heavy for my taste.
Fair enough.
Can't really move in it.
Well, it's a breastplate. It's medium, and it shouldn't cause disadvantage. But by the way, I forgot that Mina also wears.
Also, wore like a breastplate for the first half of the campaign.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I mean, it still can be heavy and hamper my movement.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be, heavy armor to do that.
Yeah, I guess if your dex is +4, it would actually hurt your armor class. You don't have medium armor master or something.
It's also covered in skulls.
It is covered in skulls.
Do you want to touch it though, Bryn?
I mean, yeah. I I guess that's my job with this group now. And then she'll just like put her hand on it.
You don't
I
get
mean, you don't-
anything. You just get to touch them.
Yeah, I
and
know.
then
I
they
just
get
get to
taken away.
I know, right?
Hey, Bryn, touch my thing, but then I want to keep it.
Bryn, you
Does
touch it.
anything happen?
It is wet.
This is the fabled armor of wetness.
Yeah, I want Bryn to just bullshit in that situation where we come to just believe whatever she says and touching an item.
Oh god, it's horrible. Death. Destruction. So much blood. You
The
can't
undiscovered country from whose traveller board, no?
That's a 26 inside. Of course, now I'm gonna make it to where if you roll.
27 deception,
Fuck.
bitch.
Fuck! Oh no! Suppose it'll have to go into a bag of holding with that horrible dagger.
I don't even know if we can take it with us. It's so horrible.
Does she actually get no reading from it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've come to expect a reading, so you're going to get a show.
It looks very pretty.
Yeah, but I just don't know that we can trust it.
You can trust
heard-
me. I'm kidding.
Oh, then, good work, team.
The only thing that we did not do was find the remains of Raythan.
Well, I think we could spare the time to look.
Is there another exit to this room?
No.
Can we
Wait,
have
we-
a swim around, like where that tunnel was? Is that tunnel big enough for a dragon?
It's big enough for a kraken to be swimming in and out.
Okay.
You think that the tunnel is like an entrance to the ocean from the island pool?
Sure. Just wondered if he was down there somewhere, like dragon bones. If he'd been eaten or escaped.
Probably somewhere else on the island, right? Because we didn't explore.
Yeah.
it.
So most of the battle took place above the island. It's only a small kind of the last stand that took place in the heart of Gormanthan.
Sure, but also that, well, Laku's looking for that green
Yeah.
dragon that killed Edris, so
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gonna look what
It's
we're here.
behind you.
Oh! Finally we meet. Can he like a few like errant smashes of the Kraken while he's down there?
Yeah, of course, mate, of course.
Cool.
As you're
I imagine
smashing,
the beak is so big. Okay. You can't really take it home.
yeah, as you're smashing, you look and you see that a second horn is illuminated on the side of the hammer.
He,
Ooh.
I will take that into account. Be proud of that.
Could I harvest some bits from the kraken?
Most certainly.
Excellent. I would like any poisonous bits, particularly that cloudy ink.
Yeah, you can get an ink sac, but it's about the size of a body bag.
Also,
Ew.
I shall put it in my bag of cold.
And if you pop it, then you'll probably drown in it because
You
it's
better
not
hope that
water.
all your clothes. You better hope that all your clothes were
Mhm.
already black.
I do love black very much.
Yeah, you can grab that. Give me a survival check.
Sure. Can I do medicine?
No.
Alright. Natural 20, first of the day.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you can grab the ink sac.
I don't think that any other items are the things to investigate in this cavern?
Sorry, I just had the image of Declan like going to the school, like Iris's school, like sitting down. It's like everyone gets their ink pots out and the quills, and Declan just like just massive inks.
For you, children.
I've come bearing ink.
This
Your
should
wheels never run dry.
this should last you the rest of the semester.
That's what they mean by, like, you know, fine paper and supplies.
Mm. And everyone like looks up from their Macs, like. What was your question? Sorry, Corinne.
If there was anything else in the cavern.
You can make an investigation check.
An investigation this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna give it a good looking 16.
No.
Okay.
That armor, by the way, is last stand armor.
Ooh. Can you drop that in my inventory, please?
Too bad we're giving it to Nasira because it's evil. Covered in
Nope.
scars. Too bad.
It's that one-
Bryn foresaw it. It was terrible.
I don't.
Blood and bodies everywhere.
That is.
Ooh, her sheet's all purple.
Could
It is
I
all
have
purple.
access to it so I could put it in the notes?
Yes.
Okay.
I will. Mina, you have it.
To,
Yep.
like in the chats, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doing that.
One
I'm
at
just.
a time, Dan. One at a time. Jeez.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
If you die while wearing the armor, it is destroyed, and each celestial fey, fey, and fiend within 30 feet of you must succeed a DC 15 charisma saving throw or be banished to its home plane of existence unless it is already there.
Sweet.
And it's a +1. Means my armor class remains the same. But it doesn't require attunement. Oh my goodness.
So. Yeah, you're able to harvest the wormthill and grab everything you guys need from the cave. Is there anything else you would like to do in here?
Have a cracking barbecue.
I do like grilled squid.
Do we want to go up through the tunnel just in case there is anything there? Do we want to go back up the way we came? Back towards,
Going through the tunnel would probably kill you. Just
yeah?
FYI, yeah.
I mean, do we know that?
I mean, you know that if you swim down that far, you're gonna pop a blood vessel in your head for sure.
Okay.
How many hit points though?
I mean,
Underwater pressure isn't a thing in D&D.
head explosion.
I mean, I think water breathing actually. I guess doesn't.
I'll just cast regenerate before we go. I'll be fine. I guess we can just head back up to Devonian and let him know that we slayed the beast.
Yes, we should.
All right.
Just know that his vigil may end.
We just kill him, you know, maintain the status quo.
Get some XP.
It wasn't very difficult, so.
So you guys surface into the bright light, and you find like, you know, your eyes kind of screwing up against the sun. You see Devonian is like kneeling near the entrance, and he has this kind of serene smile on his face, and his hands are clasped in front of him, and he's closed his eyes, like meditating.
The work is done, my lord.
His eyelids kind of flicker, and he looks up and he beams at you all, and he says, "Yes, it is done. I can finally return home."
We thank you for your service to our realm, watching over this place for so long. Keep it safe.
I thank you for doing the same.
I suppose you'll be wanting your sword back?
You may keep it, as long as you,
Thank you.
as long as you continue to use it for honorable purposes.
Of course.
Thank you, my friends. I am glad to have known such good folk. And he stands, drawing himself up to his full Makud level height.
If we're ever in the Feywild, where do we find you?
You should look for the city of Tila-An. That is where my family are found.
If it is no imposition, then we will certainly come to visit someday.
I'd like that. There will always be a place for you in my home, at least.
Be well, Lord Devonian.
And you. And he sort of bows his head and is engulfed by this sort of green and white light. And when it fades, he is gone.
His mana colors are green and white.
He is Trustani, basically.
Do we need rest? Or should we set about finding the remains of Wraith's sons?
I think we should return to the Scar Prowl and do our resting there.
Quite wise.
Perhaps we will come across more remains on our return back.
Okay. If you head back the way you came to the ship, you won't. So if you want to take a more scenic route, you can, but it'll take you much longer. So it depends on whether you want to get there quickly or get there with more of a chance of seeing like that.
Should probably go quickly, I suppose. Don't want to keep our escort in the dark any longer than necessary.
I suppose we can return, right? I'm sorry, I trailed off for a second.
No worries.
Quicker probably would be better. Rest and return.
We go quickly. Look how fast we go.
Yes. We return the fast way to the Scar Prowl.
Oh, I have a level of exhaustion once Tensor's transformation wears out. That's an important piece of information.
Ooh, yes, this. Can we take a quick break?
Yeah, I mean, so my thing was going to be, once we're kind of here, it's probably best to end for the week there, because the next scene will probably be a long one.
I don't like that at all.
It's a conversation scene, planning for the war and explaining things to the dragons. So